make a next move with clear messaging, clear code of conduct. Thank you.
Wazimak, very solid. Nick, 2 minutes. Kenyanji, 2 minutes. Alafu the two guys. Nick.
Thank you, Daktari. I hope I can be heard.
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, guys. First, I want to thank Osama for this space, and nataka congratulate wote wenye wamejitokeza leo. I know it was not an easy day, and unfortunately today they somehow managed to divide on the basis of personal interest. And Kenya mimi naweza sema leo binafsi imeshinda. Wase wamepewa do wakuja waharibu na nini, but we've come a long way. We've really come a long way, and we should not feel disappointed ama faint-hearted kwamba our efforts have not come to fruition. We've done so much, and each one of us mwenye ameparticipate kwa hii demo, kwa hizi rallies, kumobilize, kutoa pesa yake ya kuprint, and all that, the doctors, the lawyers who have been engaged, we've done so much, and we still have so much to do, kwa sababu unaona leo tayari wameshaongeza salary za MPs, wameongeza salary ya IG Koome, wameongeza salary ya CJ, all these senior state officers leo wameongezewa salary. And this is coming at a backdrop whereby tunaambiwa hakuna pesa ya walimu, hakuna pesa ya kufanya hivi, ya kulipa JSS teachers and what not. So we are still seeing double speak from the government. Despite all our efforts zenye tumejaribu kuput front, they are still treating us like ni kama tuko serious and all that. And it's very disappointing. Kuna scandal ya fertilizer and other stuff that has happened. And I will not focus so much on that, but what I want to say is congratulations to all of us who have participated. We've done so much. Hakuna mtu alikuwa anajua tunaweza occupy parliament. Yes, it came at a cost of lives, and I'm really sorry that young guys have lost their lives, and the government seemed not to have cared what has happened. And it has been a bloody 2 weeks, for lack of a better word. None of us should have died, unajua. And in as much as that has happened, let us try and see how we can move forward. Because right now, as I'm speaking, watu wa LSK, kuna wenzetu wa LSK, my fellow lawyers, tumeenda Central. We've gone to Central, we've tried to see our clients, those who have arrested during the demos leo, na hao watu hatujapewa access ya kuwaona, unaona. And even if someone is arrested for whatever crime, they're supposed to be given access to a lawyer of their choice. Unaona, but then what has happened is guys have been arrested, wamepandishwa lori, wamepelekwa Central, lawyers have been queuing and waiting to see them, they've been cordoned off, na saizi usiku tu wamepandishwa lori wakahamishwa. Inasemekana wametolewa Central, wamepelekwa Muthaiga. So unaona, we are still dealing with impunity from the state, and this is something which we need to change. And moving forward, we need to seek accountability from public officers. We need to seek accountabilities from parastatals. And we still need to have IBC properly constituted, because the only way we can have a proper accountability and streamline the system is to be able to recall back our MPs. Without that, then all this will be futile. We need to take an active role and participate in politics, an active role and participate in governance. And we also need to take an active role and do our own civic education. Ukienda OCHA, ukienda mtaani, ukutana na watu, people who you relate with, try and educate them about their rights, how they should be getting a voter's card, how they can put their MCA to account for whatever money is coming to them. And that is how the movement strengthen itself. Haitakuwa tu mambo ya maandamano peke yake. No, we can still do so much in our individual capacities, and we shall improve the capacity, the governance of this country. Unaona? So mi kenye nitawaomba tu yani, let's not give up hope. We've done so much. Let's play an active role. We've seen there still scandals coming up. Kuna mambo ya NHIF over 360 billion imepotea, mambo za fertilizer and what not. And all this is money which should have been used to provide better services to us. Lakini we are not seeing it. So tusichoke jamaa. Let's strategize. Let's see better way forward, and all shall be well. Let's remain tribeless, let's remain leaderless, let's remain partyless, and at the end of the day, we shall be proud of our efforts. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. Kenyan German, and love us Kenya Mzee and then Polo. Kenyan German. Ongei. So I'm Kenya. Then Polo.
Okay.
Hi, can you
Daktari,
hear
am
me?
I?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you
Because I
now.
couldn't
Kindly
hear
2
the
minutes.
co-host. Can anyone hear me?
We can hear you.
Please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down or anything. Oh, alrighty. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're listening from. First of all, my sincerest condolences to the departees of this revolution and the families. I apologize sincerely on behalf of a very corrupt regime, and I guarantee that that regime is going to fall. Secondly, I apologize for my voice. I have a bit of a flu, but it's nothing in comparison to the fallen heroes. Millicent Omanga, it's a very good thing you're on this space because I have quite some things to tell you, but I'm not going to be long. You know, when you are counting money, we all watched that video, and people were stuck in the UAE under the kafala system. The kafala system is a system of slavery. You did not pay 1 cent towards the release of these slaves in the United Arab Emirates, and you are provoking people. You have nothing to show on your CV but an ass. You only have matako on your CV. So shame on you for even being anywhere close to leadership. You and all the others, the rapists, we know you. Even from a distance, we are watching you, and we will make sure your children never study abroad. Trust me on that. We will come for all of you. Yesterday, I said there's a time that will come when Ruto will tell people he was the president of Kenya and no one is going to believe him. Hitler killed himself in a bunker. Hitler was a very terrible terrorist or dictator. He killed himself. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Benito Mussolini of Italy, 1883 to 1945. Mussolini, he was a fascist leader and he lost his grip on power in July 1943. I'm just talking out of my head, so if you want to check the details, you can come back to me. So due to Italy's deteriorating situation in World War II, he had to step down. He was arrested in prison and later rescued by German forces. Joseph Stalin of Russia, 1878 to 1953. Stalin was a brutal, his regime was so brutal. It is what Ruto wants to achieve in Kenya. And our fight, Kenya's fight, is not only for the liberation of Kenya, but the liberation of the entire African continent. This is a fight that has been ongoing in the Congo, which had celebrated independence 2 days ago on the 30th of June. They have nothing to celebrate. The IMF and World Bank controls everything. Congo, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, then Zaire, was sold to the IMF and World Bank respectively. And they said, we're going to put our people in control. So who does Ruto think he is? If Benito Mussolini of Italy fell, if Joseph Stalin fell, if Adolf Hitler fell, who does he think he is compared to what Kenyans can do? Now listen, Millicent Omanga and the others who only have asses on their CVs, I want to tell you something. You are elected by the people. The people hold the power and they can take it back. They elect and reject. That means that they say you step down, you step down. If they say you prepare tea at 150 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is the normal temperature of consumption of tea or coffee or whatever, you go to the kitchen and prepare it that way. If you do not do that, step down. What you're trying to do is intimidate people and clear the streets of people so that you can drive with your cars of people's taxes. Shame on you and your fucking asses. You only fuck each other in the government. There's nothing you're presenting to Kenyan people. You're an embarrassment. We are ashamed of this regime. And I'm so pissed off, to be honest. I apologize for my wording, but I'm not sorry. I'm just angry. Now, I also want to talk about very briefly Tunisia. Those who understand what happened in Tunisia, so you may understand the power of this movement. They want you to give up. the Arab Spring uprising in Tunisia in 2011. So Tunisia became the epicenter of the Arab Spring. It was a wave of protests and uprisings that swept across the Middle East and North Africa. It was inspired by events in Tunisia where citizens took to the streets that year, 2011, are demanding change and justice. Citizens demanded change and justice. It all began with self-immolation, and that I mean that there was somebody called Mohammed Bouzizi. I don't know whether you've heard about him, but he set himself on fire. He was a young fruit vendor and totally frustrated because he did not have employment and corruption. One person set himself on fire. Last year during Maandamano, people set themselves on fire. I saw somebody who set himself on fire in Mombasa. People were killed in the Maandamanos. Over 70 people died. When the Maandamano ceased, they went to Kisumu killing civilians who are really just in their homes. These Ruto, I swear the day I get my hands, seriously, I'm just so mad at that nigga. Sorry, I'm not sorry. I'm just pissed off right now. You know, people are dying. Once people are dying, the conversation stops. And I was very satisfied when Mukaman came to the space and he was told to shut up and disappear. The same has to happen to Ruto. He did not listen when people are saying, stop this finance bill. The IMF gave him the command to put that IMF bill through, to overtax Kenyans. What are you taxing people for? What are you taxing from? If people have no jobs, they will take to the streets. I mean, feed the nation. Feed the nation. That has to be your priority, not taxing them. And if you're taxing people, then the taxes work for the people. Now, I was talking about these Tunisia, but I'm about to finish. I promise you that. I just want to encourage you guys, okay? Do not be intimidated. These people hold no power against you. They are your servants. They are your servants, all of them. Ruto is your maid, your gardener, but he is not your president. Okay, so now this fruit vendor, when he set himself on fire, now this act ignited a fire that would engulf the entire nation. Mass protests broke out in Tunisia in 2011. They flooded the streets, voicing their grievances against President then Zine El Abidine and Ben Ali, who ruled for 23 years. He'd been in power for 23 years. Their demands included democratic reforms, economic opportunities, and an end to repression. Ben Ali's downfall occurred on January 14th, 2011, after weeks of anti-government demonstrations. I'm just talking out of my head, okay? So Ben Ali stepped down and fled the country. He fled the country, and this departure marked a very historic moment. And then also there was Egypt, the fall of Mubarak. I don't know how many of you remember or know or have read about Hosni Mubarak. Now, Hosni Mubarak was the president then and had been in power for nearly 3 decades. His rule was characterized by, just like Ruto, dictatorism, authoritarianism, that's what I mean, corruption, like Ruto, and economic inequality, like Ruto. So the revolution in February 2011, Egyptians filled Cairo's Tahrir Square, that is a place just like Cairo, and demanded Mubarak's resignation. And he had to step down. On February 11th, 2011, Mubarak finally yielded. He yielded. His resignation, it marked also the end of this revolution. People have died in this movement. Do not let those people down. They're counting on you. I could name so many people who have fallen, dictators who were even more powerful than Ruto ever will be. And I tell Ruto, one day you will tell people you are the president of Kenya and nobody is going to believe you. One day it will be forbidden, like it is in Germany, to call your child Hitler. You can't name your child Hitler. It will be forbidden to call your child Ruto. I promise you that. This revolution is going to shake your ass, okay? Okay, now I'm done. Just one more minute. I just want to mention just Omar al-Bashir, also of Sudan. After 3 decades in power, he was removed by the military on April, I think, 11th, 2019. There was also Robert Mugabe of Zimbabwe. All of you know him. After 37 years in office, he had to step down. Blaise Compaoré of Burkina Faso. He fled. He's now in exile as we speak in Ivory Coast. He has never returned and had been in power for 27 years. He resigned in October 2014 and had to flee. Ruto, you're going to have to flee, but there's not going to be a place to flee to because we are coming for you, and we're coming hard. We're coming very hard. Thank you, all of you, for keeping up the fight. Do not be intimidated. There's government abducting people, intimidating people. Thank you very much, Osama Otero, for these wonderful spaces, and keep up the momentum. Keep up the momentum. They have to go. All of you have to go. All. You're just a very rotten regime, full of matako and nothing. Thank you. Rest in peace to the fallen soldiers. Thank you very much. I'm dropping.
Otero, let me just say something before I patia Mkenya Daima his mic to speak. Sina mambo ya kusema, but here's the thing. I think we are talking too much. I think we are doing too much talking. In fact, I can promise you, 96% of the population in this space, or that was in this space, have already forgotten what was discussed. So this space may last how long? 3 hours. I've already forgotten what was discussed 2 hours, 30 minutes ago. Because tunarusha hii. We need to narrow down to specific topics. Kama ni finance bill, tuna inject hapo, hiyo tushamalizana nao. Kama ni reinstituting IABC, that should be next. We need to have like a list of objectives. And that's why people like Cairo, nimeona Cairo has been saying this, but people are bashing him. They don't want to accept the truth, so they just prefer to kumuita sellout and shit. But simtetei, all I'm saying is we need to narrow down. We need to have an objective. Si ati kila saa mtu akitoa nini unamuita umbo and you're not providing a solution. We need to narrow down. Kama ni kama sasa tushamalizana na finance bill. Now what next? Do we go to the instituting of the IABC? Then after IABC, recalling. After recalling, kwanza hapa kwa recalling ndio nangoja sana. You know, in recalling we just need ni kamoja tu kaende nyumbani and then the rest will be itakuwa mteremko. So I think we are doing too much talking. Na ndio maana hata tukimaliza hii space, there's nothing productive we have done. Na sisemi Mkenya German, I'm very sorry if I'm hurting or whatever you said. I'm not discrediting it. I'm just saying we're just doing too much talking. So we need to, na ndio maana hata hizi space saa zingine mi find it very hard to join because mi najua hakuna kitu ya maana tunasema hapa. It's just venting, ranting, nini. And then today tukirudi grao, hakuna kitu tumefanya, tumerudi tu ile step 1 tulikuwa pale. So I need you, to the 15,000 people who are listening to this, we need to narrow down to a specific topic. Kama kesho mimi nataka tuanze sasa kuinject hii reinstituting IBC. I know Ruto said it will take him 10 days, but we need to pressure that. After hapo, now we need to know the next step. And that's why kuongea mobile side, we are not walking the talking we are doing. And that's why hata unapata wazee wengi mnaongea tu hapa ni nini, mrusha mdomo here and there. But kwa grao hamtokei because you know ile space mlikuwa, there's nothing you are saying. Ni kila mtu, everybody trying to sound like an intellect. Mkitoa kizungu mingi hapa. We need to get serious.
Metro,
Otero.
I understand where you're coming from, but people need hope. You have to understand that there is a colonial system in place that has been there even prior to the independence of Kenya in 1963, 12th December. So we need to encourage people. You come and talk whatever you want to present, but let us vent also. Let those who are angry vent. And I was there when people were like, you wear white t-shirts. And I said, you cannot do that in a dictatorship like Ruto's. You can do that in a democracy, not in a dictatorship. And people, you make yourself a target. So please, don't come and just say, okay, this is the revolution. And everybody has a right to their opinion.
Excuse me,
why
Paulo.
don't you just make your points? What are your points, Metro?
Mrembo, first of all, you're talking very feminine-ish. I love that. And now let me just get straight to what I was saying. We are doing too much talking. We need to set our points out there. This is what we want. This is what we are demanding. And now from that, we can now start getting to work. We just need to stop all this too much talking. If that's the reason I'm even here to tell you guys about it. Hizi space mingi tunaweka hapa, they are not helping. That's why hata last time wase walikuwa sha decide tomorrow we are going sijui occupy State House, but mtu tu akaweka space, morali karudi zero. But I'm not saying to end the State House. I'm just saying we need to get our shit together. We need to circle back and to shikane. This is what it becomes much easier when we are doing when you're doing something as a team. No, si ati kila mtu ako hii, mi nataka hii, and this is. We need to have that list of the demands we want, so that when we are done with this, we can go to the next one. Hey, Mr. Ongemob, Kenyan German, I love to talk to you kwa nyuma ya tent kidogo. Please, bye.
Okay, wacha nauliza tu kaa nasikika tu, mnipe thumbs up ama tu agree na mimi tu kaa.
Nasikia.
Unasikika.
Okay, fine. Mr. I know you guys are tired, so tutashinda nikibit around the bush. So kitu ya kwanza anasema there are no demos on Thursday. Mi naona kuna serious brain fog. So the demos are serving a different purpose. So Thursday, I would urge everyone to be out there demonstrating. Hata kama utakuwa na demonstrate outside your house on Thursday, tafadhali tokea, on Tuesday tokea. And the reason why I'm saying this, I know the kind of person we are dealing with. We are dealing with Ruto. Ruto already knows our problem. We was already discussing them temenye aliulizwa, akaanza kusema within 10 days. So first of all, anyone who is saying we have won, we haven't won anything. I don't know why we are saying this. We are just getting the recognition. Let's not mistake recognition for winning or them being our target goals. I'm not seeing target goals. Target goals were reject finance bill. What is the state of finance bill? Imerudishwa kwa parliament. So badala ya kushinda tukipiga mdomo mingi, let's focus on Thursday tunatokea. And the reason why I'm saying this is, if there are goons that are hired, there is someone who mentioned about adapting. Yes, let's now the police show us that they are competent enough to handle the goons. So how are we going to measure that? We are going to measure that by demonstrations on Thursday. So on Thursday tunatokea. Any scheduled demo as it had been scheduled by whatever place it came from, Thursday, Tuesday tunatokea. Then how are we going to measure that we are making a progress? Because Kimani amesema, let's focus on kuangalia pia tukue na agenda moja. Agenda 1 has not been factored in. Ilikuwa ku reject finance bill. Finance bill itakataliwa, it was just sent to the parliament. When we see that has been achieved, then we can now get to the next stage whereby, no, because kuongea nini siku ya kufanya demos na kudiscuss what's going to be the next point, those are two completely different things. We can't go home now we have not achieved anything. What we have achieved right now is recognition, which I'm telling everyone who came out, thank you. Whatever you are doing to support this, yes, thank you. But now we need actionable points in that una celebrate too early. You are all celebrating too early. At sasa msikuje demos on Thursday. No, we are going to demos on Thursday. If government is going to take action, what is take action? But usituambie within 10 days. So sahi nikikount ni 2 days. So tunafaa kujua within by the next Thursday, Ruto anafaa kuwa ashatoa hizo offices zenye alikuwa ametaja, because he mentioned that the offices ya spouses na nini, all those unconstitutional offices will be removed. Hii mambo ingine ya kusema ati utokee on Thursday, hiyo wewe kama una feel utatokea, wewe wacha, because some of you are killing the momentum and we need to be out there on Thursday until what we are trying to achieve ikuwa achieved. So that's why I imagine everyone mwenye ananisikiza, mimi message yangu sijakuja kuambia, you all know our problems as Kenyans, hiyo mnajua. You all know why we are out in the streets, you already know that. So if they are not taking action, where are you taking an action to de-escalate? Where are you taking an action to de-escalate? Miss Yelewi, we can't de-escalate at this point. So on Thursday, imagine everyone kutokea. Kama umesikia umechoka, well, relax. Take some energy. Ukitaka ujoin the next week on Tuesday. But hiyo mambo ingine mingi yenye mnaongea, then you start selling fear, is totally unnecessary and nothing has been achieved. Lives have been lost. Properties have been lost. So much has been lost. Jobs have been lost and everything. So mimi I urge you on Thursday, kama uko hapa unanisikiza, Thursday we are on. Any other information, mimi sijui. I mean, I find it not useful. Thank you.
Felix Ali, unaweza ongea?
a short under 2 minutes. I want to agree with Kenya that Thursday we need to show up. We knew government was going to play this dirty tactics. Another thing, we've seen that there's footage showing that some of these rogue agents were hired from the governor's office. So first of all, we need to start there on Thursday. We need to suspend everything that we are supposed to do on Thursday and start at the governor's office, because that's where these drones came from. Secondly, the reason why we've tested Occupy everywhere, we've seen it's not working. We need to go after that. We schedule Linturi must go. After Linturi, the guy who brought us the fake sugar, this guy with choma legs must go. After that, we take the next CS. We can't miss who to demonstrate to. The list of corrupt CSs are endless in this dirty regime. We can't back down just because Ruto played this dirty game. We've seen him do this in all the other ODM mandamanos and all that. Sonko himself admitted to it. So we can't back down. This is a divisional tactic that they are doing. We also saw even the likes of Anifa post today that people were approached. So if you are approached, you've taken the 300K, I would suggest that you just keep quiet. Stop trying to distract people that, oh, let's call off Thursday, re-strategize. This is what they want. We need to stay focused. We need to line them up. After we go to Linturi, we go to this person, we go to this person, we go to this person. All those ministries are in major towns. So we need to line up that way. That's all.
Mi nataka tu kuongezea kwa hiyo kitu yenye Mkenya amesema. I think as much as some of us not kusema we need to call this thing off on Thursday, I think we need to know that the bill has not been withdrawn. And because I see we have lawyers are here, and they can tell you we cannot say that bill already may call withdrawn, because the president just referred that bill back to the parliament. Unaona? Na Kimani Chungwa na Kinakuria Kimani, they can just wake up na amwe warudishe hiyo bill, unaona? Then wapitishe. Then sisi kwa hapa tusha give up, watu walisharudi kwa shughuli zao. It would be very difficult again to give people the momentum of this revolution, because there are a lot of things zenye hasa wamekuwa kifanya, and I think they have sold us fear, na most of us nikaa tushanunua hiyo fear, unaona? Waliongelea story ya KDF, watu wakaanza kuzia fear, and I can tell you, see, these dictatorship regimes zinashindanga na kuzia watu fear, and unfortunately some of us tusha by that fear, unaona? So tunaanza ku feel like it's very impossible kutoa Ruto, because once tunachofala kwa hapo, trust you guys, there are a lot, because jana nilikuwa na go through some of the bills zenye ziko kwa parliament, and there's this another new bill about farmers registration or something, and they're talking about all farmers, kama unafanya farming for pay, you have to pay tax. You can imagine, unajua si hatujasoma hizo bill. Then unapata wanasema pia lazima ukuwe na license and I don't know practicing certificate akukuwa farmer, as long as you're doing farming for pay. Now you can imagine all these things. Alafu sisi vile tumefocus sana kwa finance bill ndio hiyo, tunashadanganywa imeshakwa withdrawn. The president has no power to withdraw any bill kutoka kwa parliament. Hiyo mnafaa mjue. So miki tunataka kuambia, as much as we're doing this revolution, like let us finish what we started. If our intention was to make sure umse akuwa ametolewa, unaona? Lakini tukimpatia chance, this guy will go back, strategize, and he'll be hard on us. You guys who have done history, you mnajua story ya Moi will happen, unaona? When the coup failed, that's when Moi became a very little dictator, unaona? And I'm sure once this fail, this guy will become a motherfucking dictator, unaona? Na itakuwa even more difficult for us even to raise these concerns, unaona? So sasa hivi tumeshika momentum, nataka kuambia, let the revolution move on, unaona? Mwache kusema tumekolof nini. Kwanza itakuwa kuna leaders, because those guys started this narrative of let us follow that day nini demonstration, wataanza kulimini leader wetu, and you guys will suffer, because trust me, this guy is a vengeful man. Umse you guys unajua sisi tumekuwa tukioperate most of us. This guy is a vengeful man. As much as atakudanganya saizi ati anataka talk, anakuja kwanza na shughuli yake talk, kwenye mtakuja, watu watakuja, Na hiyo siku tukikuja utapata pia kuna agenda zenye nataka to discuss na tupatie majibu nataka tuongee. So we are dealing with a narcissistic person. We are dealing with a psycho what? Like tunadeal na mtu mwenye ajali maisha ya watu. Because kama mtu akiweza ulizwa mambo ya mtu mwenye alishutiwa, then is like ni kama hata ajui. Then I want you to think vile Osama wakipatana naye atakutreat. Unaona? So you guys, kama tunataka kudemonstrate na tulishaanza, let us just finish what we started. Then another thing, let us take some time at least to some easy bills ziko before the parliament, because most of them, kuna land registration bill bado iko kwa parliament. Hii mambo ya land bado iko, si ati imeisha, unaona? Kuna wengine wanataka kuchange watu the National Land Commission. The CS wa land ndio kwa hapo ya kupatia watu title deeds. You guys, I don't know what you're talking about. You guys, if you go back to that parliament website, download those bills, read them. Line by line, then you'll know we have even a bigger problem than finance bill, unaona? So angalia tunaongelea kuhusu finance bill, leo nimeona kwa news washajiongeza mshahara, like they don't care, unaona? So if some of us will have to die for this, it will have to happen, because any successful revolution, I had someone talking about Burkina Faso. How did it started in Burkina Faso? Ilianza na prezo akitaka kuchange sijui constitution tena, a repeal mambo ya 2 terms, aendelee kurule forever. And it started like this, unaona? In a city. Hata kama utafeel others day ukuji kwa ground, you know where you can talk about manze. Yani sika tu bado revolution iko. Mimi sitaki tuanze kuambiana we are calling it off, ku lose momentum or anything. That's the only thing nitaongea for now. Nick, unasema nini?
Yo guys, actually there's a point I forgot to raise. History ya withdraw. There's no legal provision which gives the president the powers to withdraw a finance bill which has gone through the 3rd stage and has been voted for. Hiyo story ni story ajaba, for lack of a better word. The best option which is applicable at this point is hiyo bill ikishakuwa act within 14 days, parliament ikuwe convened and then they vote it down, why repeal. Wakisha repeal, hiyo process ianze upya. But then that is the only way we can say we can get rid of Finance Act, because by that time itakuwa ni Finance Act. Because hata kama president hata isign saizi, within 14 days after 26th of June, that thing will become an act of parliament, to become the law, for lack of a better word. And also, standing orders za parliament hazina provision za kudelete clauses individually as what the president was saying. Hakuna provision kama hiyo kisheria. And right now we are at a point whereby the Public Finance Management Act requires that a finance bill should have been assented to by 30th of June. Leo tuko tarehe 3, today is 3rd of July. Na muliona aliassent the appropriation bill, meaning the appropriation bill is now the Appropriation Act. The Appropriation Act usually stipulates how money will be disbursed across the various state parastatals. And the fact that ame-assent appropriation bill imekuwa Appropriation Act, hiyo inamaanisha hiyo bill yenye amesema ame-delete, watarudi wataipitisha na itakuwa itasupport Appropriation Act yenye tayari amesha sign. So hii ni kuchezewa karata tu tunachezewa. There's nothing like withdrawal of a bill. The president has no powers to withdraw a bill which has gone through the 2nd stage, a bill which has gone through the 3rd stage, a bill which was just waiting for his assenting. And also, in the event president akatae kuassent, within 14 days, hiyo kitu inakuwa sheria. And because this is something very delicate, we're dealing with the public purse, we're dealing with public money, pesa inafaa kuwe disbursed. There's no way we can go past this week, 1st week of July, bila pesa kuanza kukua released to various schools, various counties, various parastatals. So, hii story tunadanganywa hapa eti sio ame-withdraw hiyo bill, eti amesema the individual clauses zikuwe deleted. There is no legal provision for deleting clauses of tax, clauses of public finance management, as per what he was telling us. It is legally not possible. Na ndio maana Otiende Amolo Senior Counsel was saying the only way around this thing ni iachwe ikue act, alafu bunge ikue convened, wabunge wa repeal, process ya finance, process ya budget making ianze upya. That is the only way around it. Because we are looking at a situation whereby this has never happened before. And we can't have a country whereby appropriations have been signed na pesa ionekani vile itakuwa raised. Because kazi ya budget huwa ni kuonyesha ile pesa tunatarajia kupata na vile tutaispend. Sasa kama appropriation bill imeshakuwa assented, imeshakuwa appropriation act, this appropriation act needs a budget to support it. It needs a budget to move money around. Na sasa kama bill haijakuwa signed, imeregeshwa, hii pesa ya kuongeza salary imetoka wapi? Can you ask yourself that? Because hii salary yenye wamejiongezea tayari kwa Appropriations Act. Unaona? And we are dealing with a very rogue salary remuneration commission. Because I remember Justice Biriam of the Employment Court, anaitwa Byron Onguya, he had a case yenye alidetermine juzi between the Public Service Commission of counties versus the SRC. Na aka warn SRC from willy-nilly increment of salaries as state officers, which is contrary to the SRC regulations of 2019, which require before you increase a salary, lazima ukue umefanya public participation na umeeleza ni kwa nini una revise salaries. Salaries ideally should be revised on 4-year intervals.
Because of time, I think unajua tuko wengi. So me, I'll just talk. There's something.
Sawa. Let me wind up. Let me wind up. Yeah, so mnaona, we are dealing with a situation whereby things are just being done chini ya maji, chini ya meza and all that, yet we are not being told the truth. The truth is your bill bado iko active, and within a week or two, your bill itaregeshwa tena na itapitishwa. Because Appropriation Act is now in force, inangoja tu finance bill ikue actualized na hiyo pesa ianze kumove. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll just be brief on whatever I want to say. Kwanza, before you guys mnyamaze, I want to tell you the difference between appropriation bill na finance bill. Finance bill kitu tupatana framework vile government ita collect dough in the coming financial year. Then appropriation bill inallow government to withdraw fund from consolidated funds. Consolidated fund ni kama bank account ya gava. So in any history mtuashaisoma history vile revolutions zilifanyika, killing appropriation bill is the better way of killing a government yenye inawanyanyasa na kushinda kwa hiyo tax, hiyo finance bill, unaona? So even our focus ingekuwa more on appropriation bill than finance bill, but because most of us are ignorant with the information, hatuwezi jua the difference, unaona? So si tunaongelea tu hapo mbo finance bill ishaanguka, but these people already washajiallow kutoa do, unaona? Ndio maana saizi unasikia nurses watapata pesa, sijui kina nani watapata pesa, unaona? Kwa sababu washapitia appropriation bill, na since there's no any other framework ya kutoa do, watatry kunyanyasa wengine, watu wataumia ni sisi, unaona? So utapata kuna nurses watapata pesa, but these people wanajiongezea mshahara. So hata before mlale, we before anze kusema ati tumekuwa successful na hii nini, first of all jua difference ya hiyo finance bill na appropriation bill. Then I'll tell you that appropriation bill is even stronger than finance bill, unaona? Jua appropriation bill unapatia hapo ya kuchukua pesa, already wenye washatunyang'anya, unaona? Finance bill ni kitu yenye ni future, hujui kama hiyo pesa umetarget hapo itakuwa raise ama itakuwa raise, unaona? So it's also a silly and a very lame excuse kusema ati kwa sababu finance bill ijapita hatutakuwa na pesa ya kufanya hizi, unaona? You already that money is there, unaona? So baby wangesema your appropriation bill ijapita hatutaweza kupata pesa ya kufanya hii, unaona? So you guys, let us at least have this information, because once you have this information, it will be easy for you to know why you should go back to the street, to know why you should not rest, unaona? Kujua kwa nini usiangalie MP wako akikuja hapa akipatiana pesa ndio kama unyamazi, unaona? Because there's just a lot. Kuna vitu tuumiza maparents wetu. Nimwambia mambo ya land muangalie. Ni mwanajuzi wa mwadanganya tuasha withdraw hiyo bill ya land. Kuna National Land Commission bill wanataka kuchange. Sijui kuna nini about land pia wanataka kuchange. There's just a lot of bills in this parliament zenye zitapitishwa na si ndio tutaumia. And this is the only time wakati yenye tuko na hiyo ya kuendelea hizi vitu manzi. Let us just go to the end, unaona? Because life yetu itakuwa poa kama hatuna hii information. Na information tukishakuwa na utakuwa na more reason to go to this. Utakuwa na more reason to keep quiet. Hii mambo ya goons is just to instill fear in us, unaona? Tushajua wamehire goons. Mmeona video za Sakaja akihire goons. It's very stupid of them, unaona? Like we know these things. So I will listen now these people because wamefanya hivi, let us tunyamaze. Watu wanashatushinda na fear. Na that's what their aim ilikuwa, unaona? Hii mambo ya goon before hire goons ilikuwa ishaanza kutembea kila mahali. Watu walikuwa washafungulia these MPs planning to hire goons, this government is planning to hire goons. Like these are just propaganda, and government, even Adolf Hitler used propaganda to control the Nazis, unaona? And this is the same way these guys they're using. They first of all give us propaganda fear, then they instill fear in us. Then ukishaogopa tuna retreat, unaona? Now once tume retreat, you are giving them time to plan themselves. Angalia mtu kama Museveni today was in a space ya Waganda. These people they are talking, man, they talk out of fear. Even someone recording TikTok videos anaogopa. And me have had the same experience in Koko, Uganda. Kuna shati nilikuwa nimevaa ya hizi revolution, then some karali nishika hapo hivi kuzo shati kwa nini nimevaa. You see, because these people they have fear, and government they use propaganda, then they use fear, unaona? One of these things walianza na propaganda ya goons. propaganda ikaspread vizuri, wakakuja wakaonyesha Goons in reality. Unaona, already tulikuwa tulisikia na imefanyika, unaona. So tutakuwa tukitembea because we have that fear. So guys, let's have information. Tusome bana, tusome hizi bills tafadhali. Tukishasoma hizi bills mtajua we have more reasons. Unaona, hata hii finance bill ndio ikuje bali imefika hapa because some people walisoma akaanza kutuambia. So mimi kitu nitawaambia before useme the revolution is over manzi, go back and read. Jua appropriation bill, jua kwa nini walikimbia sana kupitisha. Ndio maana this goes so easy kuachana na finance bill, withdraw, unaona. Na hiyo hata huja withdraw, yani kurudisha back to the parliament. Bado iko na life. Ask yourself, why was Ruto so fast to let your parliament ipitishe mambo ya KDF kukuja kwa huko kwa Nairobi, but hii mambo ya finance bill they have to finish their recess na kuja i discuss. So ask yourself those questions before you call it off. That's the only thing nitasema. Nimeona Kimuzi ametujoin, maybe kama Osama hivi Kimuzi can talk.
A quick one before Kiongozi join, before Kimuzi join, a quick one. I know we are dealing with one issue at a time. Mimi nilikuwa nasema hivi, when if there are protests, the same way doctors walikuwa wamejitokeza, unapata a certain groups, then we can always make sure like in every town, and me I will volunteer to be part of the Nairobi, just watching kama like marshals to be, yani to make sure that kuna people who are watching, to make sure that they are streaming things live, to make sure hakuna mambo ya au Goons kutokea, na Goons wakitokea unapata there is someone on the watch when the procession of peaceful protest is ongoing, because the police clearly are not doing any work. And if we are in spaces to give suggestions that might work for the next protest, then I would suggest that to be something that we can be doing. The youths, mtu atajitolea, mimi am willing kujitolea, niko part of the people who will be on the sideline wakiendelea kuwatch to avoid your interruption ya Goons, na when Goons wakitokea inasemekana wametokea from which side, and ni kitu inaweza kuwa broadcasted. But the idea of killing the protest, the peaceful protest, I think it's counterproductive to what was started by whoever started it. But I believe it started from our acts as Kenyans, from the pain that we are facing. So me, that will be my suggestion for Goons. Na mimi amwezi tuambia ati kina William Ruto na watu kama kina Sudi wanatushinda akili, ati tu imefika mpaka next end. Sudi nini na certificate yake ya class 3 anatushinda akili akitumia Goons. Then as we go for a very simple solution ya kusema let's end it, you guys with all your degrees and all the knowledge pia nyinyi mko na, me I feel like we are on Thursday, and if we are going to employ tactics whereby we are having people as youth marshals who are watching because the police clearly are not doing their work, then we will watch and we'll be able to man people up when you want to walk peacefully, and we can be able to take care of things to make sure that hakuna Goons when you want to infiltrate people businesses, hakuna Goons when you want to harass people when there is that peaceful protest. But kusema ati strategies zinatumika na akina Sudi ndo zinawashinda akili, ati sasa strategy yenu, the next strategy is what, ati kunini. If you are going to reshape this revolution, then